We will now continue to read from the Book of Moon Landing, from the Book of Bullshit Machine, which is available to purchase on Amazon right now. We last left off at Chapter 4. We will continue with Chapter 5, concerning the broadcast across the void. And while the astronauts walked, the world watched in real time, on television, a live broadcast from the surface of the moon to the living rooms of Earth. 240,000 miles, live in 1969. Now consider this, a television news van in that same era, and indeed in this era, carries many tons of broadcasting equipment, generators, transmitters, amplifiers, antenna arrays. And this broadcast equipment broadcasts a signal over a distance of perhaps 50 miles or so to the nearest relay tower, and sometimes it does not work. And the news van does this on Earth, where there is atmosphere and infrastructure, and a network of towers built at great expense across the land. And the lead, the foil-wrapped treehouse made by heads of meth, broadcasts a live television signal across 240,000 miles of vacuum through the Van Allen radiation belts, through atmosphere, to Houston, and from Houston to the world. With equipment that fit inside the vessel, the size of a large closet. And the signal was good enough to broadcast to 600 million people simultaneously. Salah. And if thou hast ever lost a cell phone signal in thine own living room, thou art permitted to sit with this for at least a moment. Salah. Chapter 6, concerning the photographs and other wonders. And the flag ripples in photographs, and there is no wind upon the moon. And NASA said, there is a horizontal rod sewn into the top of the flag to keep it extended. And this may be true, and the ripple is from the astronaut handling it. But the image remains troubling to the eye, for the eye knows what wind looks like. And the shadows. In some photographs, the shadows fall in different directions. And the skeptic says, this means multiple light sources on a film set. And the scientist says, this is because the ground is uneven. And they are both making observations from the same image. And the Van Allen belts. Between Earth and the moon, there are belts of radiation that would, by certain calculations, deliver a dangerous dose of radiation to an unshielded human. And NASA, praise NASA, says the trajectory was chosen to minimize exposure, and the transit was fast enough that the dose was survivable. And this is the official answer, and it might be probably correct maybe, but might be probably correct maybe, and certainly correct are certainly not the same thing. And the telemetry tapes. NASA recorded the original high-quality telemetry data from the Apollo 11 on magnetic tapes that survived the Van Allen belt radiation twice. And then NASA lost the tapes. They were likely recorded over in the 1980s to save money on blank tapes. Salah. Let that sit for a moment. The greatest achievement upon the species. The original recording, taped over to save on the tape budget. Salah. And the photographs. The astronauts were wearing pressurized gloves so thick they could barely grip a tool. The cameras were mounted to their chest with no viewfinder, and they could not see what they were shooting. They could not adjust the settings with any precision. And yet the photographs are perfectly composed. The exposures, they're flawless. And the framing, that's exact. The horizontal, level. The subject is centered. And every wedding photographer who has ever lived, with the full use of their hands and eyes and autofocus and the ability to take 300 shots and keep just the best one, would like a word. Salah. Chapter 7. Where hath the technology gone? And they returned, and the world rejoiced. And then a strange thing happened. They stopped going. 6 missions landed on the moon. 12 men walked upon it. And then in the year 1972, after playing a round of golf on the moon, it ended. And no human being has returned in over 50 years. And the people, they said, why? And the government, for they said, it is expensive. But let the books be open, for the government did not stop spending. The budget of NASA, praise NASA, did not vanish. It was redirected. And the military budget grew and grew, year upon year, unto hundreds of billions, and then unto trillions. And no one in the halls of power said, we cannot afford it. They could afford wars that lasted 20 years and produced nothing. They could afford aircraft that cost more than the entire Apollo program, adjusted for inflation. They could afford to lose $21 trillion in unaccounted Pentagon spending, which is a real number that was reported and then forgotten. But going back to the moon, that was too expensive. Salah. And it is not only the money, it is the knowledge itself. For in 1969, with slide rules and paper and computers weaker than a calculator, men built a craft that left the Earth, crossed 240,000 miles, landed on the moon, launched again, and returned safely. And now, with all the computing power in the world, with material science beyond the dreams of that generation, with rockets that can land themselves upon a barge in the sea, it is taking decades of effort and billions of additional dollars just to attempt what was supposedly routine over a half century ago. Salah. And the engineers say, we are rebuilding the capability. The original plans were lost. The manufacturing lines were dismantled. The institutional knowledge retired with the workforce. And this is the official answer, and it may be true. But hear it plainly. Humanity's greatest technological achievement, and we lost the instructions. We lost the tapes. We lost the plans. We lost the ability. But we kept the photographs and the flags and the pride. And we lost everything that would allow us to do it again. Salah. For that is not how technology works. We did not forget how to build the pyramids. We did not forget how to sail across the oceans. We did not forget how to split the atom. Technology moves forward. It does not unlearn itself. Unless it was never quite what we were told it was. Or unless the bullshit machine that tells the story has other priorities than the truth. And that is all for today from the Book of Moon Landing, read from the Book of Bullshit Machine, which is available on Amazon right now. Join me tomorrow when we will continue with Chapter 8 from the Book of Moon Landing, concerning the testimony of those who went. Have a blessed day, and remember, question the narratives that are given to you.